Hi class, in this video we're going to talk about the aggregate supply curves. So the aggregate supply curve shows the price level at which firms in the economy are willing to produce different levels of real goods and services and the resulting income. So this generally takes three shapes. For our class, we will use the first two. The first is a vertical line. This is the long run aggregate supply, or LRAS. Next is a horizontal line. This is the short run aggregate supply, otherwise known as the sticky price. So the horizontal curve is the short run aggregate supply because the prices aren't allowed to move in the short run. So remember, in the Keynesian model, prices adjust in the long run. The vertical allows for a price adjustment all the way up and all the way down. It's highly inelastic, so the prices can move. The third is a diagonal line, like a traditional supply curve. This one we won't use for this class. We'll mainly focus on the long run and the short run. So you may ask yourself, how long does it take for prices to not be sticky anymore? When does this long run occur? And it depends on a couple different factors, which you'll be able to watch a video about through the Marginal Revolution video posted in today's lecture folder. So one of the reasons is due to union contracts. So the United States, there's not too many union prices, so prices can change faster. Whereas in Europe, there are more unions and prices ultimately change a little slower. Another thing is based upon expectations and morale. So if you're constantly receiving a wage of $50,000 and the company then goes, hey, we're going to change your wage to 45, you're not going to be very happy. So that's a reason why these prices don't change very much and they're sticky in the short run. So negative shocks can't really pull down wages because of both these contracts and the morale. There's also menu costs, which we discussed earlier this semester. So in the Keynesian model, this aggregate economy has a horizontal aggregate supply curve in the short run. So this is short run aggregate supply, which I will write as P bar, which means prices can't change. They're held constant. The bar means it's held constant. So I will generally write it as P bar. The y-axis is price, so P bar over here. The x-axis is output. We then see our aggregate demand sloping downward, and this creates an equilibrium at P bar and Y1. What we'll put here is the long run aggregate supply curve. So this is LRAS, our long run aggregate supply. And they all cross in this equilibrium at P bar and Y1. Okay, so shifting the AS curve or the aggregate supply curve, there's only a few things that will actually shift it. The first is productivity changes. Hold on. There we go, back on track. So productivity changes. The entire productivity of the workforce can increase or decrease in the economy, and this will shift long-run aggregate supply. Because remember when we were talking about productivity before? As productivity increases, we'll be able to produce more at every price and at any person or at any number of people working. The next thing is changes in costs of inputs to production. This will be independent of overall demand. So if all the prices of inputs increase, well, then our long-run aggregate supply will be less. If all the prices of the inputs decrease, then we can make more with the amount of goods we have. So it will increase. Okay. Starting on Thursday, we'll go through many examples how this graph here incorporates the ISLM. So this will be the ISLM, aggregate demand, aggregate supply model. Okay, and we'll do quite a few examples. But if you have any questions before then, please let me know. Okay.